Matrix Unveiled, A Journey Through Forbidden Knowledge, Part 14. Hidden Knowledge Through the Signs of Auramoth, Thoum-aesh-neith, and the Vow of Silence. Have you ever wondered if the reality you see is just a carefully crafted illusion? What if the symbols, gestures, and rituals that surround us daily hold secrets about the unseen forces shaping our world? In this episode of The Matrix Unveiled, we delve into the enigmatic signs of Auramoth, Thoum-aesh-neith, and the chilling Vow of Silence. Are these ancient gestures mere relics of forgotten traditions, or keys to hidden power, controlling reality itself? Welcome to Positive Vortex, and stay with us as we pull back the veil to reveal the esoteric truths that may change your perspective forever. Throughout history, secret societies, mystic orders, and occult traditions have thrived on their ability to encrypt profound spiritual and esoteric truths within gestures, symbols, and oaths. These gestures are more than visual cues; they are rituals, invocations, and markers of allegiance that reveal connections to a hidden network of beliefs and traditions. In this episode, we investigate the sign of the goddess Auramoth, the sign of fire, Thoum-aesh-neith, and the infamous Vow of Silence, unraveling their deeper meanings and cultural significance. The sign of the goddess Auramoth, invoking the element of water. Symbolism and meaning. The sign of Auramoth, often referred to as the sign of water, embodies the qualities of the element it represents: fluidity, adaptability, intuition, and emotional depth. The gesture is performed by bringing the thumbs and index fingers together to form a downward-pointing triangle. This triangle mirrors the alchemical symbol for water and represents the feminine principle of receptivity, purification, and spiritual rebirth. Common title: Water, Goddess Auramoth. A. Grade: 3 degrees equals 8 degrees. Ritual description: the hands are held on the torso, forming a downward triangle with the thumbs and index fingers. This symbolic posture connects practitioners to the flow of cosmic energy and the archetype of the goddess Auramoth, a deity revered for her control over the emotional and intuitive realms. Auramoth and the mystical element of water. In esoteric traditions, water is regarded as the medium of transformation. It cleanses impurities, dissolves boundaries, and bridges the physical and spiritual realms. The downward triangle, often associated with this element, also represents the chalice or womb, symbols of divine feminine creation and intuition. This gesture is often employed during rituals in the Golden Dawn, or thelemic traditions, to invoke emotional balance, psychic awareness, and spiritual purification. By embodying the archetype of Auramoth, the practitioner aligns themselves with the mystical currents of water, accessing its healing and transformative powers. Parallels to the Hakini Mudra. Interestingly, the sign of Auramoth bears a striking resemblance to the Hakini Mudra, a sacred hand position in Hinduism. The Hakini Mudra, named after the goddess Hakini, is associated with the Ajna Chakra or third eye, the center of wisdom, inner vision, and clarity. This mudra enhances concentration, aligns mental and emotional energies, and awakens latent spiritual potential. Hakini's role in yoga, known as the goddess of the subtle mind, Hakini is thought to control mental clarity and divine intuition. The mudra linked to her strengthens neural connections and opens the practitioner to higher wisdom. Sign of Auramoth versus Hakini Mudra. Although visually similar, the two gestures differ in purpose. While the Hakini Mudra serves as a tool for self-realization within yogic traditions, the sign of Auramoth functions as a ceremonial invocation within Western esotericism. The sign of Auramoth in modern culture. The downward triangle gesture has made its way into pop culture, frequently appearing in photographs of public figures and celebrities. Speculation about its deeper meaning has only grown as this symbol surfaces repeatedly in high-profile settings. Prominent figures seen using this gesture. 1. KRS-One, known for his intellectual and philosophical lyrics, the rapper has been seen using this gesture in photos, fueling speculation about his alignment with mystical traditions. 2. Jodie Foster, the Academy Award-winning actress, has posed with this hand sign, sparking questions about whether it is merely a stylistic choice or something more significant. 3. Gene Hackman, Ellen Page, Axl Rose. These figures from Hollywood and music have all been captured making the same gesture, seemingly connecting them to esoteric traditions. Why does this gesture resonate in modern culture? The recurring use of this sign among elites and celebrities raises questions about their affiliations with secret societies or occult practices. Is it an invocation of Auramoth, a subtle nod to esoteric knowledge, or merely a coincidence? Critics of popular culture suggest that such symbols are part of a deliberate effort to normalize occult practices and subliminally influence the public. The sign of fire, the goddess Thoum-aesh-neith, the sign of philosophers. Esoteric meaning and connection to fire. The sign of fire, also known as the sign of philosophers, represents the transformative and purifying nature of fire. In rituals, this gesture is performed by placing the thumbs and index fingers together on the forehead, forming an upward-pointing triangle. The triangle symbolizes the ascent of energy, divine inspiration, and the illumination of the spirit. Common title: Fire, Goddess Thoum-aesh-neith. A. Grade: for degrees equals 7 degrees. Ritual description: the upward triangle at the forehead reflects the practitioner's aspiration toward higher consciousness and spiritual awakening. Fire's role in alchemical traditions. In alchemy, fire is the agent of transmutation, burning away impurities to reveal the gold within. Similarly, the sign of fire invokes the spiritual flame that transforms and uplifts the soul. This gesture is an essential tool in ceremonial magic, allowing initiates to connect with divine willpower and the archetype of Thoum-aesh-neith. Connection to the all-seeing eye. When performed over the forehead, the upward triangle aligns with the all-seeing eye, a prominent symbol in Illuminati lore. The gesture becomes a marker of heightened perception and access to hidden knowledge, further cementing its association with secret societies and mystical traditions. The Vow of Silence, a declaration of absolute secrecy. Silence as a Masonic virtue. The Vow of Silence is more than a symbolic gesture, it is a binding oath taken by members of Freemasonry and other secret societies. This vow obligates initiates to protect the secrets of their order at all costs. The consequences of breaking this vow, as detailed in Masonic rituals, are dramatic and severe. The gesture of silence. The gesture, often depicted as a finger placed over the lips, symbolizes the initiate's promise to guard their society's mysteries from the profaner masses. It is a visual representation of the oath of secrecy, a constant reminder of their duty to protect sacred knowledge. Freemasonry's perspective on the profane. In Freemasonry, the term profane refers to anyone who is ignorant of sacred rites and unworthy of entering the temple or witnessing its mysteries. Albert Mackey's Encyclopedia of Freemasonry describes the profane as those outside the temple, uninitiated and unfit to comprehend the deeper truths of the order. The hidden religion of the elite. Freemasonry and similar secret societies operate as hidden religions, with their own gods, doctrines, and rituals. These systems are inaccessible to the uninitiated, leaving the masses excluded from their sacred wisdom. Albert Pike, in his work Morals and Dogma, emphasized that the vulgar herd, seeing, might see nothing, and hearing, might comprehend nothing. A system hidden in plain sight. Through the Sign of Auramoth, Thoum-aesh-neith, and the Vow of Silence, we see the fingerprints of secret societies across modern culture, media, and politics. Whether through deliberate invocations or subconscious influences, these symbols serve as markers of alignment with ancient traditions and hidden knowledge. With each gesture, we are reminded that the matrix of control is not limited to overt systems of power, but extends into the esoteric, shaping our world in ways most of us will never fully understand. The question remains, are these signs merely remnants of mystical traditions, or do they hint at an ongoing agenda that remains hidden from the public eye? The Vow of Silence, ritual signs, occult symbolism, and power structures. The esoteric nature of the Vow of Silence. The vow of silence, often seen as a symbolic hand gesture, transcends its outward display and represents a deeper commitment to secrecy, initiation, and loyalty. This concept is deeply embedded in occult practices, Freemasonry, and Thoum-aesh-neith magic, serving as a gateway to higher understanding and power. Through silence, the initiated demonstrate their readiness to safeguard esoteric knowledge while solidifying their bond with their respective orders. This practice stretches back thousands of years, to ancient Egyptian, Hellenistic, and even Babylonian religious practices, each of which employed silence as both a spiritual discipline and a control mechanism. The Sign of Silence, Harpocrates, and the Occult. The Sign of Silence originates with Harpocrates, a deity of silence and secrecy in Hellenistic religion. The Greeks derived Harpocrates from the Egyptian god Horus, specifically Horus the child, who symbolized the rising sun and rebirth. Harpocrates is often depicted with his finger pressed to his lips, which the Greeks interpreted as a gesture of silence. However, in Egyptian culture, this pose represented youthful innocence rather than secrecy. This misunderstanding was absorbed into Western occult traditions, where Harpocrates came to embody the sacred act of withholding truths from the uninitiated. The symbolism of the gesture? In the Sign of Silence, the individual stands upright with their left hand at their side and their right hand index finger placed gently against their lips. This gesture is a solemn reminder of the importance of discretion and the disciplined concealment of sacred knowledge. It is taught early in initiatory systems like the Golden Dawn, where the neophyte, the lowest grade of initiation, is introduced to this practice as a key tenet of their journey into esotericism. This symbol of Harpocrates is not merely a gesture but a philosophical commitment. It demands that the initiate remain vigilant about their words and actions, ensuring they do not reveal the secrets they have been entrusted with. In mystical traditions, silence is seen as a tool to guard against the misuse or misunderstanding of higher truths by those deemed unworthy or unprepared. The role of silence in Thoum-aesh-neith magic. In Thoum-aesh-neith magic, the Sign of Silence is integral to ritual practice. It emphasizes the principle of self-control and the suppression of ego, both necessary for spiritual progress. This silence is not limited to speech but extends to the mental and emotional realms, requiring the practitioner to quiet their inner dialogue to achieve enlightenment. Thoum-aesh, a system developed by Aleister Crowley, draws on the mystical teachings of the East and West, combining elements of Egyptian mythology, Kabbalistic traditions, and Hermetic principles. Crowley incorporated the Sign of Silence into the neophyte ritual and other ceremonial practices, assigning it a dual purpose. 1. Spiritual focus. Silence clears the mind of distractions, allowing for deeper meditation and ritual work. 2. Guarding mysteries. By keeping the teachings of Thoum-aesh hidden from the profane, those outside the esoteric circle, the mysteries are preserved in their purest form. Crowley's Book of the Law explicitly warns against revealing occult secrets to those unprepared, suggesting that silence protects both the initiate and the sanctity of the knowledge itself. Freemasonry and the binding power of the oath. Initiation and the ritual of silence. In Freemasonry, the vow of silence takes on a dramatic and binding form. During initiation, candidates are blindfolded, a symbolic representation of their ignorance before receiving the light of Masonic teachings. This light is said to illuminate the spiritual truths of Freemasonry, though critics argue it represents Luciferian illumination, a theme widely debated in esoteric circles. Before the initiate is welcomed into the Brotherhood, they are required to remove all personal items, including jewelry, clothing, and religious symbols. This act signifies the shedding of worldly attachments and the total submission of the initiate to the order. It also serves as a metaphorical rebirth, preparing the candidate to receive new truths untainted by prior beliefs or possessions. The ritual's psychological impact is significant. Stripping the initiate of their personal identity reinforces their dependence on the group, while the blindfold and dramatic setting heighten the emotional intensity of the experience. This creates a profound sense of loyalty and obligation, ensuring that the initiate remains faithful to the society's rules and secrets. The Blood Oath. One of the most controversial aspects of Masonic initiation is the Blood Oath, a solemn declaration that binds the initiate to absolute secrecy. The language of these oaths, detailed in texts like Richardson's Monitor of Freemasonry, include severe penalties for breaking the vow. For example, binding myself under no less penalty than to have my throat slit, my tongue torn out, and my body buried at sea, should I betray the secrets of this brotherhood. While modern Freemasonry often downplays these penalties as symbolic, the psychological weight of such language cannot be ignored. It serves to underscore the seriousness of the vow and the consequences of disloyalty, creating a sense of fear and reverence for the order. The hidden agenda of silence in power structures. The Vow of Silence extends beyond esoteric societies into the broader mechanisms of power and control. Secret societies like Freemasonry, the Illuminati, and the Golden Dawn have long been accused of using secrecy to manipulate politics, finance, and culture. Silence becomes a tool for maintaining exclusivity and preventing outsiders from disrupting the established order. Control through obfuscation. The practice of keeping knowledge hidden from the masses ensures that power remains concentrated within a select group. In Freemasonry, for example, the term profane is used to describe those who are not initiated, literally meaning outside the temple. According to Albert Mackey's Encyclopedia of Freemasonry, the profane are ignorant of sacred rites and unworthy of participation in the mysteries. This language reinforces a hierarchical structure in which the initiated are viewed as superior to the uninitiated. By maintaining silence, members of these societies safeguard their secrets and their influence, while the masses remain unaware of the forces shaping their reality. Psychological impact on the initiated. Silence also serves to deepen the loyalty of those within the order. By requiring initiates to take oaths of secrecy, these organizations create a sense of exclusivity and shared purpose. The penalties associated with breaking these oaths, whether symbolic or literal, further reinforce the bonds of loyalty and obedience. Silence as a tool in media and celebrity culture. The Sign of Silence has transcended esoteric rituals and entered the realm of popular culture. Celebrities, musicians, and public figures frequently pose with this gesture, sparking speculation about their connections to secret societies or their alignment with occult principles. Prominent examples. Rihanna, frequently seen making the Sign of Silence in photo shoots. Rihanna's imagery often incorporates Masonic and Illuminati symbolism. Madonna, known for her use of occult symbols, Madonna has incorporated the Sign of Silence into her performances, further cementing its association with celebrity culture. Chris Pine, Gordon Ramsay, Blake Lively, these and other figures have been photographed with the gesture, fueling speculation about its hidden meanings. The purpose of the symbol in entertainment. 1. Mystique and intrigue. By adopting occult symbols, celebrities create an air of mystery that captivates audiences and generates publicity. 2. Signaling allegiance. Some believe these gestures are a way for celebrities to signal their alignment with secret societies or esoteric principles. 3. Cultural normalization. Repeated exposure to these symbols desensitizes the public, subtly integrating occult imagery into mainstream culture. Illustrations of the Vow of Silence. The Vow of Silence is not only a gesture but a ritual act deeply embedded in the traditions of secret societies. It is illustrated in Masonic texts like Richardson's Monitor of Freemasonry, where it is described as a physical and verbal commitment to secrecy. These illustrations often depict initiates with their hands covering their mouths or fingers pressed to their lips, reinforcing the importance of silence. The ritualized nature of this act underscores its significance as both a spiritual discipline and a means of control. Modern representations. From celebrities like Lil Wayne, who poses with his mouth covered, to performances like Pink's Masonic-inspired concerts, the Vow of Silence remains a powerful symbol of allegiance and secrecy. Even historical figures like Bud Abbott, a known Freemason, have been photographed making the gesture, connecting it to the broader history of secret societies. The Vow of Silence, while outwardly simple, represents a complex web of power, control, and spiritual transformation. By exploring its roots in ancient mythology, its use in modern rituals, and its presence in contemporary culture, one begins to understand its enduring significance as both a symbol and a practice. The initiated remain bound by their oaths, while the uninitiated are left to speculate, perpetuating the allure of secrecy that has defined esoteric traditions for millennia. The Masonic penalty sign, a symbol of power, allegiance, and fear. The Masonic penalty sign is far more than a gesture. It is a declaration of unwavering loyalty and submission to the secretive tenets of Freemasonry. This gesture, frequently illustrated in Masonic manuals such as Richardson's Monitor of Freemasonry, symbolizes the severe penalties an initiate agrees to face should they betray the order's secrets. While many modern Freemasons claim that these penalties, such as having one's throat slit or being disemboweled, are purely symbolic, the psychological impact of agreeing to such consequences reinforces a deep sense of allegiance to the organization. This symbolic act is both a warning and a tool of control. It represents the weight of the oath taken during Masonic rituals, a pact that supersedes mundane allegiances, including loyalty to family, religion, or nation. The penalty sign connects the initiate to a lineage of secrecy, one that has been passed down through centuries and intertwined with occult practices. Historical figures like Aleister Crowley and Helena Blavatsky, both with connections to Freemasonry, used similar gestures in their own practices, further linking the penalty sign to the broader esoteric tradition. For Blavatsky, who identified herself as a Luciferian and a proponent of occult knowledge, such gestures represented the binding nature of spiritual contracts. Freemasonry's adoption of similar symbols reflects its dual nature as both a fraternal organization and a spiritual pathway for those seeking deeper, often hidden, truths. Helena Blavatsky and Lucifer, reimagining light and darkness. Blavatsky's theosophical vision. Helena Blavatsky is a central figure in the occult movement of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Through her groundbreaking work such as The Secret Doctrine and Isis Unveiled, Blavatsky introduced the Western world to a reimagined vision of spiritual evolution, one steeped in ancient mysticism and Eastern philosophies. Among her most controversial claims was the statement that darkness is absolute light, a declaration that upended conventional religious narratives. In Blavatsky's framework, darkness represents the unknown and unmanifested potential of the universe, while light symbolizes knowledge, awareness, and divine energy. This reinterpretation of light and darkness aligns closely with her veneration of Lucifer, whom she regarded not as a malevolent force, but as the ultimate symbol of enlightenment. To Blavatsky, Lucifer was the bearer of the torch that illuminated humanity's path to spiritual liberation, a figure who defied oppressive divine hierarchies to bring knowledge to humankind. Lucifer and Freemasonry. Blavatsky's writings resonate with Freemasonic teachings, particularly those articulated by Albert Pike in Morals and Dogma. Pike's interpretation of Lucifer as the instrument of liberty and free will mirrors Blavatsky's view of Lucifer as the harbinger of spiritual awakening. Both figures present a dualistic perspective in which Luciferian energy can be used for good or evil, depending on the intentions of the individual wielding it. Blavatsky's association with Freemasonry is not merely philosophical. Her works are cited as recommended reading in the Encyclopedia of Freemasonry, underscoring her influence within the Masonic tradition. Moreover, her co-founding of the Lucifer magazine alongside Annie Besant further cemented her role as a bridge between Freemasonry, theosophy, and occult philosophy. Albert Pike, the architect of modern Freemasonry's esoteric philosophy. Morals and Dogma, Lucifer as Free Will. Albert Pike, one of Freemasonry's most influential figures, reshaped the spiritual and philosophical underpinnings of the order through his seminal work Morals and Dogma. Pike's writings delve into the concept of duality, exploring how forces often perceived as opposites, good and evil, light and darkness, are in fact interconnected and essential to spiritual growth. In his discussion of Lucifer, Pike describes this figure not as a deity or person but as a force, a symbol of liberty, free will, and enlightenment. He writes, "It is the instrument of liberty or free will." This framing aligns Lucifer with the broader Masonic goal of self-determination and mastery over one's spiritual journey. It also underscores the moral relativism inherent in Pike's teachings, where actions are judged not by traditional moral standards but by their alignment with personal and universal growth. The devil as force, not entity. Pike's interpretation of the devil as a symbolic force rather than an entity further reflects the esoteric leanings of Freemasonry. He positions this force as one that can either uplift or destroy, depending on its application. To the initiate, this concept serves as both a warning and an empowerment. The path to enlightenment is fraught with danger, and misuse of spiritual power can lead to corruption. Annie Besant, the female Freemason and Theosophical leader. Besant's role in universal co-masonry. Annie Besant, a close collaborator of Helena Blavatsky, exemplifies the deep ties between Theosophy and Freemasonry. Besant not only embraced Theosophy's spiritual principles but also actively participated in Freemasonry, attaining the rank of 33rd degree Mason. Her letter, written on official Masonic letterhead and signed with her title, reveals her high standing within the order and her commitment to its esoteric teachings. Besant's dual role as a Theosophist and Freemason highlights the shared objectives of these movements to seek hidden truths, reinterpret religious symbols, and elevate the spiritual consciousness of humanity. Her involvement also challenges the notion that Freemasonry is exclusively a male domain, demonstrating how its principles transcend gender in the pursuit of enlightenment. The Lucifer magazine. Besant's collaboration with Blavatsky on the magazine Lucifer further illustrates her embrace of esoteric philosophy. By choosing such a provocative name, the magazine sought to reclaim Lucifer as a symbol of light and knowledge, challenging traditional religious dogma. This act of reclamation reflects the broader theosophical mission to question established beliefs and promote spiritual evolution. Occult symbols in the public sphere, celebrities and Freemasonry. The all-seeing eye and its proliferation. One of the most pervasive symbols associated with Freemasonry is the all-seeing eye, often depicted within a pyramid or surrounded by rays of light. This symbol, representing divine omniscience and spiritual enlightenment, has transcended its Masonic origins to become a cultural icon. Celebrities, athletes, and political figures frequently display the all-seeing eye in photos, fashion, and media, leading to widespread speculation about their involvement in occult practices. Tom Brady, the renowned NFL quarterback, has openly referred to his wife as a witch, further fueling rumors about their spiritual beliefs. Both he and his wife have been photographed making gestures that align with Masonic and occult symbolism, including the one-eye gesture. This symbolic display suggests an alignment with esoteric principles, whether consciously embraced or used as a nod to their power in public imagery. Symbolism as a tool of influence. Symbols like the all-seeing eye serve as a visual language for those in the know, allowing members of secretive orders to communicate their affiliations without words. For the uninitiated, these symbols might seem innocuous or artistic, but their consistent use by elites suggests a deeper, hidden purpose. Whether as a show of allegiance or a means of exerting subtle influence, these symbols are woven into the fabric of modern culture. The charity facade, manipulating public perception. Freemasonry often emphasizes its charitable works as evidence of its benevolent intentions. From scholarships to community-building initiatives, these acts of kindness are designed to paint the organization in a favorable light. However, critics argue that this philanthropy serves as a smokescreen for more nefarious activities. By projecting an image of altruism, Freemasonry deflects scrutiny and maintains its influence in public and political spheres. This tactic is not unique to Freemasonry. Elite charitable foundations often operate in a similar manner, using philanthropy as a means of consolidating power and controlling public perception. The alignment between these practices and Masonic principles suggests a shared playbook among the world's most influential organizations. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the hidden layers of existence. If this exploration sparked your curiosity or challenged your beliefs, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Matrix Unveiled on Positive Vortex. Your support fuels our quest to uncover the truths they don't want you to see. And if you'd like to help us dig deeper, click the thanks button or buy us a coffee. Together, we'll keep uncovering the mysteries. Until next time, stay curious and question everything.